There were 15 series, 30 teams played. Each series involves 2 teams, so quick division, 15 series that we're going to go through one by one. Jack Peter Just Baseball Show for Monday, April 29th. We're nearing the end of the first full month of the Major League season, and we're starting to get an idea of what each team identity is. Happy sweep weekend, Peter. Who we brought to you by?
BetMGM, the king of sports books. All you got to do, we're going to download the BetMGM app, whether that be on iOS or Android. Then, when we deposit, we're going to use code JustBaseball. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets. So, when you make your bet at standard odds, if you win it, nothing's going to happen. If you lose it, you will get that all paid back in bonus bets up to $1,500. Do not leave free coin on the table. Use BetMGM, but remember, gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older, and terms and conditions apply. Thankfully, BetMGM has not been taking my money lately. I'm getting a little hot, but I was heating up, hit the Orioles, and then I took the over in the Mexico series. The Rockies stink. How do you score 6 runs in 2 games playing in a Little League park on the moon?
Different environment, man. More altitude.
It's
the
hard.
thing is, they're in
It's
the
really
sweet
hard to
spot
hit
of altitude.
Framber on a rehab assignment, basically, because he only threw 2 bullpens, then threw in that final game, carved through them. I mean, they stink.
I mean, kind of crazy that they didn't send him to Sugarland. I saw that he was a probable, and I was like, oh, we're just doing it now.
That's why I took the over. I'm like, no way he's going to be okay 7,500 feet above sea level. The Rockies have big league hitters. They can hit him. Nope.
Are we sure? Are we sure they're
No,
big
it's
league
bad when the Astros bullpen that blows a game every day dices through the Rockies.
Oh, Brian Abreu nails in
Ryan
Mexico
Presley
City.
couldn't touch him. Josh Hader couldn't touch him. Nice job, Rockies.
How about Jordan going 460 twice on Saturday?
Every single ball was hit 440 to 460.
No, like Jordans were different. I think Jordan understood the assignment better than anybody else.
You know why Jordans were different? Because they didn't look 460, if that makes sense. Because it wasn't like a violent swing.
No, they were
didn't
liners.
look like crazy bombs off his bat, where we've seen that in the past, where it goes 460 with no elevation, and it looks like the farthest ball that's ever been hit. These were just sweet spot of the barrel, and they went 460. I think that's why you thought they were so impressive. And I did too, but when I'm watching 5'6" Altuve take one 108 and put it 450, being 5'6", congrats to Jordan hitting 460 off the Rockies freaking pitching.
Yeah, the one that got me, like the one Mexico City, like serious elevation one that got me was after Jordan's first, Kyle Tucker's second in that back-to-back, when he just like sliced one down the line and it somehow got out. I was like, oh, we're playing on the moon right now. I forgot about that.
I like how we're getting straight into the series with this Rockies versus Astros one.
Do we want to? We can just start with that one if we want.
Let's just start with that one. And just another reminder, we've switched up the way that we're doing the Monday show. We might have switched back if all the great people who listen to our show on YouTube said otherwise. But they said that they like this series by series breakdown, and then we get back into full deep diving analysis Tuesday through Friday. So we hope you continue to enjoy. We're going to give you a quick recap on every series, give you some takeaways, and we'll send you on your way to start the week off right.
If you tell us that it sucks, like if you decide 3 in that it blows, we'll change.
We'll change. We love our listeners and we respect our listeners, and whatever they say goes. So if you guys don't like it, we'll change it. But if you love it, we're going to keep going. And you love the first one, we're going to give it a go in the second.
So the Astros got a little 2-game sweep over the Rockies in Mexico City. We already talked about Jordan, Tucker, Altuve. I really don't have many other takeaways from this at all. Framber looked all right for what is rehab number 1.
My takeaway was Major League Baseball did a legitimately horrible job of marketing this series.
It was like, I guess it was on ESPN as well.
The second game was on ESPN, but I didn't hear anything from them. Like, we knew it was in Mexico. Like, we posted graphics. I posted something on my Twitter, just a reminder that this game is being played basically on Jupiter. But I didn't hear anything else. There were so many people on the internet. Why is the Rockies Astros total at 16? What's going on? it's okay that you didn't know that. MLB did a
course.
terrible job marketing this.
So, yes, agreed. Um, Also, I don't know what the gravitational factors are on Jupiter. Like, gravity might be heavier on Jupiter. I've got no idea.
I do know ball. I don't know Jupiter that well. I'll learn. I'll get there.
Yeah. You could have said astronomy, but like Jupiter is fine
No, I'm
there.
great at astronomy. I'm just
Are
behind
you?
on Jupiter.
Okay, I'm gonna look up the gravitational weight on Jupiter, and I will inform you of that information when I get it.
Thank you.
Real quick before we jump to the next series, I do want to run 3 league-wide numbers by you, and I
Okay.
just want to see if you really know ball the way you
Okay.
say you do.
I do know ball.
There are 3 teams in Major League Baseball that have a starter ERA under 3. Who are they?
The Mariners,
No.
the Red Sox still,
Yes.
the Phillies.
Yes.
Huh. Not the Guardians.
Nope.
Yankees?
Nope. They're close, but no.
Not the Dodgers, not the Padres. It's not the Diamondbacks. I'm just going through all the teams.
No. American League.
American League Central?
Mm-hmm.
Tigers?
No.
Royals.
The Kansas City Royals have a sub-3 rotation ERA. Crazy. 2 teams in baseball have fewer than 20 homers as an offense. Who are they?
Ooh. The White Sox.
Yeah.
The Marlins.
No.
The Marlins have 20 home runs?
Mm-hmm.
From who?
It's a really low bar to clear.
Okay.
De La Cruz has what, 5 or 6?
Okay, is it the Reds?
No.
No, I was like, no way. The White Sox. I don't think it's the A's.
No.
The Guardians.
Nope. NL.
NL.
Central.
One of those teams doesn't?
The St.
Cubs.
Louis Cardinals have 18 team home runs.
That's
horrible.
Welcome
Them
to
and
the
the White
Monday show.
Sox.
Welcome to the Monday show, Cardinals fans. Damn it, that sucks.
That
I
sucks.
couldn't believe that. I can't believe that.
Crazy. All right, last one. Ellie De La Cruz has 18 stolen bases. He's 18 for 21 in the stolen base department. That would be where in the team rankings for stolen bases?
Ooh.
Just give me a ballpark.
I'm gonna say that's top 10.
It's top 15. It's tied for 14th with Atlanta. Cincinnati has 52 stolen bases as a team already. That's first in baseball. Washington has 48. They're also running like madmen.
Jacob Young.
And then
I like this Jacob Young guy. He's got 10 stolen bases himself, and Lane Thomas has 11. I just wish CJ Abrams would stop hitting home runs and just steal bases for me.
Get to first base, man. Like, don't just run past first base. Be on first base for a little bit and like just go.
Like Nationals fans, they're cool with the home runs. Me as a selfish gambler, I would like to see some stolen bases. I would like to see him work some counts, take some walks, and get on first and take second.
I like the homers. I like whatever does CJ Abrams right. But Cincinnati, 52 stolen bases is first. Washington, 48 stolen bases is second. Milwaukee is third with 33 stolen bases. There is a 15 bag drop off between second and third. So it's Cincinnati and the Nats, and then everybody else way far down.
It's funny, Bryce Terang has 13 of his own. So if you take that 13 away from Milwaukee, I mean, I don't know why you would if we're just taking away stolen bases.
No, we're playing the what if game. I'm
yeah,
here for
exactly.
the
what if game. I'm just saying one guy has a third of their stolen bases as well. The Ellie De La Cruz effect.
Weight of gravity on Jupiter. Its surface gravity is 2.4 times that of the surface gravity of Earth. So the ball would not be flying on Jupiter.
Oh, see, I don't know Jupiter that well.
Yep, you don't know Jupiter.
That's on me.
You could say the moon. The moon is like an easy cop out. Oh, they're playing on the moon. Everything floats. You know what I mean? Jupiter is like, oh no, you're playing on Jupiter. That's like you're playing in the Florida State League. Ball's not going to go anywhere. Super humid. Okay?
What planet has the lowest level of gravity?
Dude,
we know.
I don't fucking know. You can look that up. I'm not going to look that up.
All right, I'll
you.
look it up later.
All right, let's jump to Cleveland and Atlanta. Battle of the 2 best teams in baseball record-wise.
Damn right.
And it was Atlanta that took it 2-1. My couple of takeaways here. Friends of the show were awesome on the Cleveland side. First hitter of the series, Stephen Kwan went yard. That was a great tone center. And then Tanner Bybee on Saturday. 7 shutout innings, 2 hits, 9 Ks, no walks. That was ridiculous. So we've got our young, exuberant fellas, and then you've got the old head vets in the Atlanta pitching staff. Chris Sale, Charlie Morton combined for 14 innings of 1-run ball, 6 hits, 2 walks, 12 Ks. Are they going to miss Strider?
I keep thinking that they might. And do you know who leads Major League Baseball in ERA right now?
Reynaldo Lopez.
Reynaldo Lopez. That is 0.72.
Yeah.
I thought they might miss Strider because that's what would make sense for any MLB team ever. But the Braves are just different. And the fact that they're doing this without much production from Ronald Acuna Jr., without much production from Austin Riley, I know these guys are still hitting the ball hard. Don't worry, I've been on Savant Braves fans, and I've seen all the barrel outs. And a barrel, member is 95 miles an hour or higher on the exit velo, 18 to 32 degrees on the launch angle. So normally those are good for extra base hits. Austin Riley has been hitting a few of them, and it's not been landing. So he'll be totally fine. But the reason I bring it up is they are winning in spite of 2 of their best hitters not really hitting, because all they really need is Marcell Ozuna right now. I mean, he is just unbelievably good. Another stat for you, and I'm pissed that I don't have the Twitter handle from where this came from. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and quote tweet. I'm going to try and find it again. But here's the stat. The Guardians have 11 barrel outs this season. That is a ball hit at 95 miles an hour higher with that average launch angle between 18 and 32. They have 11 all year. The Braves had 7 in the series. I thought that was pretty wild. They were just hitting the ball really hard, but it was getting caught. And that's a testament again to this Guardians defense. And that's how they win. Everyone's so concerned with the exit velos coming off the bat of the Guardians. Are we going to give them credit for the speed? Right? Every infield hit, they get on. Other teams, they're too damn slow and they can't get on base. The Guardians win with defense, they win with speed, and they paper cut you to death. And that's how they win. And that's how they kept this series incredibly competitive, because if the Braves weren't firing on all cylinders, the Guardians can be sneaky. They've been sneaky all year. So my biggest takeaway is the Guardians did exactly what the Guardians do, going toe-to-toe with the Braves in Truist, and the Braves do what the Braves do. Even when they're not playing well, they'll still take 2 of 3 from you.
Yeah. Obligatory when we talk about Atlanta Braves pitching. AJ Smith-Shawver update mentioned he was off to a really rough start of it. First 2 times through, 4 2/3, 1 earned his third start. And then he started again on the 24th. So that was Thursday. 5 innings, 3 earned, punched out 7, hit 99.8 miles an hour. So I think they're going to be quite all right.
And Bryce Elder, back-to-back pretty damn good starts. The guy who every nerd hates because the expected ERA in every peripheral looks like he should retire, and yet 5 innings, 2 runs again. He gets it. The ground balls. It's hard to get runs off Bryce Elder again.
Easy. I know, it's ridiculous. Let's jump to Baltimore. And we've got Oakland and Baltimore, and the Oakland A's took a series from the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards. The point that I want to make about Oakland is this. Mason Miller and Lucas Urseg are stealing headlines. They have a top, I think it's 4th in baseball in bullpen ERA. They have a top 4 bullpen in baseball in terms of reliever ERA. They've got 2 studs at the back of that bullpen. And Cespedes Family Barbecue tweeted something out that I loved. It was like, one of them had like a 6 ERA at a D3 school, Miller. And then the other was a junior college infielder that was selected by the Brewers.
Like, wasn't Urseg a third baseman?
Yeah, Urseg was a third baseman or a shortstop.
Now he throws 100.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it's gas, but like it plays so well at the top of the zone too. It's not dead zone gas. The other point that I want to make is this. Lawrence Butler, J.J. Bleday, Max Schumann, Ryan Noda, Daryl Ornelas, Kyle McCann. That is so much more enjoyable for me to see the success of and like root for than a White Sox lineup that has Martin Maldonado and Robbie Grossman and like Tommy Pham. And I know Pham is an injection of life. And hey, the Sox are the best team in baseball over the weekend. But
what are we talking about?
what I'm saying is, if Oakland went the route of giving 9 guys 1 year, $1.5 million, and they're in their 10th year in the big leagues and they're just trying to collect more big league checks, I would be less incentivized to feel good about their wins than I am now when they're running out guys that have worked their way through the minor leagues and are getting their first shot. I much prefer watching young guys get their first shot, like a Kyle McCann, as opposed to a Martin Maldonado behind the dish.
It's funny about guys getting their first shot, and then you still have Craig Kimbrell closing out the games, and Kyle
Dude,
McCann hit that
so
home run to
all
win the
right,
game.
Sunday, so weird. Fastball exclusive. Did you see that?
Fastball exclusive from Kimbrell.
From Kimber. I think he threw only fastballs. I'll get
It
that
was so
game
funny. I
feed
was
up right now.
watching that last inning, but I don't remember that happening. I'm just used to Craig Kimbrell. I mean, Kimbrell has objectively been, by the stats, a good reliever for the Baltimore Orioles. All I'm saying is, Orioles fans, expect this. It's going to keep happening. I'm just saying, it might look good in some innings, but you cannot tell me that he doesn't raise your blood pressure every single time he comes to the game. And I want to keep touching on that A's bullpen point. Because
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick. 13 pitches from Kimbrel, all 13 were fastballs.
Weird. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Urseg and Miller get all the credit in this bullpen, and deservedly so. But I do want to shout out a couple other guys, especially Kyle Muller. Kyle Muller, who came over from the Braves, did not make it in the rotation. I think he was putting up like a 50 ERA with the A's.
He was the opening day starter last year.
And it just went horribly. And when I saw that they were making him transition to the bullpen, I was like, okay, this stuff is going to play up a little bit more. He still has good stuff. If he can find the zone, he could be an effective reliever. And that he has to this point. Against the Orioles on Sunday, 2 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, couple of punchies, lowers his ERA down to 2.29. How about Austin Adams? Disgusting slider. One of those frisbee type sliders where you're looking at this pitcher in Austin Adams and you're thinking, how the hell does any right-hander ever touch it? Because it starts behind him and it ends up in the other batter's box. 1.93 ERA. Not even to mention a guy who didn't pitch, Danny Jimenez. Like, they have a good bullpen. And, you know, it's April. We're not going to fully pat ourselves on the back here. But this podcast, all three of us were fully in line about the A's over 57 wins. Were we not? We knew that this A's team was going to be better. We knew. They have too much talent, and I know we're talking about in relation to what they're
Relatively speaking, they have too much talent to be a 40-win team.
Relatively speaking. But we're seeing it unfold. And when the A's are winning or when it's close and they bring in these arms, you got to go turn on the TV. We're seeing multiple 100-mile-an-hour guys who have command of the baseball. And then we're also seeing some funky guys. Like late in the game, this A's team gets really, really fun. And you might not know a lot of the guys, but they keep mixing and matching it. It's a much more fun Oakland A's team than it has been in the past couple of years.
I made the point with Aram off the top of one of our shows last week. Like, man, it's really enjoyable to watch every fan base get their first look at Mason Miller.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, Yankee day game, dude. Like the Yankee circle was like, "Who the hell is this guy? Like, why is he throwing 103? Why is he in Oakland?"
And then, did you see Yankees Twitter after that series against the A's? Mock trades Mason Miller.
Yeah, we got to trade for Mason Miller. They got to move him right now.
Everyone's like, I would give up so much for Mason Miller. And it's just Yankee fans complaining about Clay Holmes while Clay Holmes now leads the league in saves with 9. So it's like, relax. But at the same time, I love Mason Miller. I don't know how to get him, but I love him.
I want to throw you a would you rather.
Okay.
I know Gunnar had an off weekend, but he had a multi-hit day with a homer on Saturday in the middle game. Friday and Sunday, he went 0 for 5.
Adley's been great this entire year. Another home run from him on Sunday.
Yeah. So that's the would you rather.
Oh.
Adley has 3 years of team control left. Gunnar has 4 years of team control left. I am of the thinking that David Rubenstein should just give Gunnar the Bobby Witt contract right now.
Yeah, me too.
But if you had to pick one to extend, I think they're going to try and figure out a way to extend both and keep them Orioles for life. But if you could only extend one, which one are you extending?
Such a good question. Gunnar is what, 4 years younger than Adley?
Yeah, I think Gunnar's 22. Adley's 26. Gunnar is a young 23.
Okay, so that's the difference. That's why the answer is Gunnar Henderson. I mean, you're getting 4 more years, and he's getting into his prime, and he already looks like one of the best shortstops in baseball. But what I will say is, if they were the same age, I would choose Adley. I think Adley is the heart of this team. He is where it starts. Every single pitcher we talked to, whether that was Grayson or whether it was just anybody who has been in relation to Adley Rutschman, talks about how impactful he is on a rotation and on a bullpen. And the fact that he's raking all the time, switch hitter as well. I think if the ages were equal, I would choose Adley. They're not. So I'll go with Gunnar.
Yeah, Gunnar actually isn't a young 23. He's an old 22.
Yeah,
So
I mean, if he's 22, yeah, he's the answer.
he's
What
the
about you?
answer.
What's your answer?
Yeah, I think my answer is Gunnar just because I think you can see how the aging works a bit better. Like so much of Adley's value is behind the dish. He's the best defensive catcher in baseball, probably.
Mm,
I mean, Pat
there's a couple
Bailey, I
others.
guess.
Yeah,
It's tough, but okay.
But he's up
He
there.
is the
He's one of
best-
the best defensive catchers in the game.
He's the best catcher in baseball because
Yes.
he is that blend of elite defense and high level to borderline elite offense from the catching position. I think he's hitting 320, but he's got like an 850 OPS. He's not slugging as much as I would think he would slug, but I don't know. Whatever.
All I
think
know
the
is
slug's pretty
all
fun.
I know is when Adley Rutschman got called up, the Orioles started winning.
Yes.
The winner.
So I think it's harder to find an elite catcher. But if you're going to give a guy a 12-year deal, you just don't give it to a catcher.
You just don't because I mean, yeah,
You know what I mean?
30,
You give it to a
40
shortstop that you've seen play a good third base before.
Look at what we're seeing right now with JT Realmuto. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, thought the defense would bounce back. It's gotten worse. It makes sense. He's getting older. It's hard to catch 102 on the black when it's sinking and frame it correctly in your mid 30s. It's just tough.
Bro, his knees are telling him when it's raining now. It's okay if you can't frame Jose Alvarado. It's fine.
Knees tell you when it's raining is a good sentence. I like that.
The Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Shohei Ohtani made his valiant return to Toronto, but this time as a villain. He's been to Toronto before. He was not a villain. He was just, an awe-inspiring behemoth when he was in an Angels uniform. Now, because of the theatrics over the offseason and the drama over the offseason, the Rogers Center crowd felt incentivized to boo, and that lit a fire under his ass. Shohei Ohtani went yard in his first AB in Toronto this year, and also had batted balls after that of 113, 109, 119, which was the hardest hit ball of his career, 103, and 107. The homer, I think, was 96, 97. But, dude, he pumped out a 113 and a 119. Come on.
He's the best hitter in baseball. And you know who might be second? Mookie Betts. Another just unbelievable series. I think he had 600 this series. Put up another 300 WRC plus type. He's
Whatever.
He's overwhelming. You want to know my takeaway?
Yeah, sure.
You ready to talk? Are you ready to talk about Vladdy? Is anybody ready to talk about Vladimir Guerrero Jr., please? I know. Bo Bichette, his errors.
I'm getting there.
I get it. That was a
totally
bad
getting
take by me for him to improve on defense. I get it. But come on. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., I watched every single at-bat of that motherfucker last year. I was telling you, the freaking plate discipline, his swing path, it's off. And he's a horrific defender at first. So if he isn't raking, he's not valuable. How much more time do we have to see from Vladdy to say, hey, 2021 was the outlier? That was not the season that we should expect anymore. He's rocking a 659 OPS as a bat first baseman. Are you going to give him a big contract? Are you going to give him 9-figure deal? Because if I told you that a year ago or even before the season starts, everybody would be singing a different tune. This is the same thing over and over again. It's ground balls. Yes, he has a high hard hit rate. Doesn't matter. It's in the ground. And he doesn't work in at bat for shit. But I'm coming from a place that is disappointed because I don't want to be right. Like, me being right about Vladdy doesn't make me cool. Seeing Vladdy go for the triple crown is what I want desperately. Because that would be electric for baseball. We get another power hitter in the same division as Judge going head-to-head on home runs. I want that. We're not going to get it. We're not going to get it. And maybe we do one day. We're still waiting. It's been years of waiting for this when in reality, 2021 was the outlier. That's what I'm looking at.
Was it 21 or 22? I always get those years
I
confused.
think it was 21. Because it
If
wasn't,
I'm-
yeah, 2022, he was like an 800 OPS guy with bad defense. And then 2023, he was like an 800 OPS guy with bad defense. And then now he's terrible again.
So if I'm Toronto, I'm letting him hit the open market.
Of course you are. What, are you going to extend him? You might not even extend Bo.
They may feel pressure too. They may feel pressure to extend one of Vladdy or Bichette to prove that it worked.
I mean, this ain't working.
It's crazy. And I want to play the game of the only thing keeping them afloat is this. There's really nothing keeping them afloat. We've talked about Dalton Varsho's hot start to the year. They're bottom 10 in pretty much every offensive category that you look at. The Toronto Blue Jays, in no world, based on their spending, based on the names on the lineup card every day, should be bottom 10 in baseball in any offensive metric. But they are bottom 10 in baseball in most offensive metrics, which is a very tough spot to be in.
How about another Blue Jay? Alejandro Kirk had that one great year, and ever since then, he's just been below average. He's a great pitch framer, so he's valuable as a defender. I understand. But offensively, we're not getting anything from him. It's just a lot of these guys where it's like
I want Danny Jansen in the lineup more than Kirk at this point.
I mean, wouldn't you say that Danny Jansen had another great series against the Dodgers. Do you think that the top 4 of the Blue Jays lineup, whether that be Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, and Turner, is the most overrated top 4 in a lineup that there is?
I don't want to say overrated yet. I'll say disappointing through the first month of the season.
I mean, been disappointing.
They're making a lot of money, and that's where I think the overrated word can start to creep in. But
Justin Turner is the best hitter on that foursome.
In that quartet.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to call something overrated right now because we are a month into the season.
But this is a continuation.
I know it is. I'll say
maybe mostly
right
Vladdy, but Springer's been banged up, and Bichette has been great offensively, objectively over the past few years. He just hasn't been good defensively.
Let's check back in a month, and I might be willing to call him overrated, but for now, just disappointing.
And how about the Dodgers? All right, how do I spin this as the Dodger hater?
As a Dodger hater? Are you a Dodger hater?
Well, I'm trying to. They need haters. Like everybody.
They have so many.
That's true.
An entire stadium just booed their best player.
That's true.
You're fine.
All right, fine. But they did lose the last game of the series. Suck it, Dodger fans. Suck it. You lost.
Absolute narcs. Kansas City and Detroit in Comerica. I love the scheduling quirk where they had a ball game on Friday afternoon when the NFL draft was there on Friday night. I love that they were not in direct competition with the NFL draft, which, by the way, hold like twice as many people than any other draft previously. Like it was like 700,000 people, 600, 700,000 people. So cool. And I love that people got out to Comerica on Friday afternoon. Aside from that, what happened on the field, Detroit did win the series 2-1. Couple of tight games. Foley with another save. Foley's so good, man.
So good.
But this Royals rotation, dude. Brady Singer, 5 innings, a 1-run ball. Seth Lugo again, 7 shutout innings with 9 Ks. I know they lost the series. I'm buying more in to Kansas City.
I think equally, if you're buying more into Kansas City, let's buy into this freaking Tigers rotation. Casey Mize again pitched really well. Tarek Skubal, isn't Tarek Skubal the leader in the American League for AL Cy Young voting right now? Has to be. Another great start. Lowers his ERA to 1.72. The punchies weren't really there for him, but he's incredibly effective. 7 innings, 1 run.
El Cambio was there.
I mean, he's just... I don't know how anybody hits him. He's so funky. Everything's coming at you so hard, and these breaking balls and changeups, they move so much.
Nobody's hitting him. That's the thing. I don't know how anybody's hitting him. Nobody is.
Lefties have no chance, and then righties still.
If that changeup's right, man, if that changeup's right, no righty is touching that.
But you're so right about the bullpen again with Jason Foley. I mean, the bullpen, Shelby Miller, every day comes in, doesn't give up shit. This Tigers team, like I just still don't like the offense. Like Torkelson has been objectively underwhelming, but they win games. They're finding ways to win. And it's on the backs of this rotation. It's on the backs of this bullpen that Tigers fans know that if we have a lead going into the 7th, the game is probably over. So you just have to get enough to get to the 7th. And then you win games. And this is a formula that has worked for a lot of teams. And it's working right now for the Tigers. Pitching first. They remind me of the Mariners, do they not? Not quite, because they don't have the electric starting pitching staff, but just from a team that kind of struggles offensively, doesn't have that many big boppers, but they have a few guys to get the job done. And then it's low scoring games. It's drain you out, and they are winning. That's what it reminds me of when I'm watching Tigers games. Kind of reminds me of like circa 2022 Mariners-esque.
Yeah, my only thing is Scooble and Kirby, I think, kind of cancel out, right? They both are viewed in a very similar light, where they are two of the better, if not two of the best young pitchers in all of baseball. But
Yeah, if we go rotation by rotation, it's not going to make
piece by piece, like the Mariners just win.
I'm just thinking of full pitching staff with a lack of offense, but still winning. That's
vibe, same vibe, similar vibe, same vibe. Tarek Scooble, 20 swings on his changeup. How many whiffs?
Probably not that much. I don't think he had that many Ks.
No. He wasn't getting whiffs on his four-seamer or his sinker.
Okay. Then probably a lot. I don't know.
11. Okay. 11 on 20 swings. That's a 55% whiff rate.
Yeah, it's going to play.
Shout out you, man. All right, let's jump to St. Louis and the Mets. This was a weird one. I wanted to shout out Pete Alonso for career homer number 200. He is now the fourth Met in franchise history to have 200 homers in that uniform. Do you know who the other three are?
Ooh. Delgado?
Nope.
Piazza?
Yep.
Beltran?
No, close.
David Wright?
David Wright. 80s for the other.
80s?
Yeah.
Darryl Strawberry?
Darryl Strawberry.
Doc
Good
and Darryl.
job, man. Strawberry, David Wright, Mike Piazza, Pete Alonso. The four Mets with 200 homers in their Mets career.
That's a sick foursome.
That is a sick foursome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So, Mark Vientos with the walk-off homer. That's great. St. Louis, they won 2. That's great.
Here's my takeaway. Sonny Gray is the fucking man.
He is.
I know the Cardinals season is not going well. I know they can't hit, but damn it, Sonny Gray going up there every 5th day. It's clockwork. Whenever you see him give up run, it's like, oh no, is he hurt? I mean, it's so consistent, and it's not high velo. And I'm just starting to find love in the guys getting it done without throwing 95 or higher.
Yes.
And Sonny Gray is at the top of that list. Him and Ranger, the righty and the lefty, like those are the two guys to
Save
watch.
Your thoughts on Ranger. Save your thoughts on Ranger, because I've got thoughts on Ranger.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about Ranger in a minute, but I'm just saying Sonny Gray, Cardinals fans, there's not a lot to watch right now, but and Jojo Romero, Andrew Kittredge, more holds. They're holding everything. They just keep holding. And Ryan Helsley, when the Cardinals are winning, which is not often, gets the save. So if they have a lead going into the 7th, they're going to win, but they don't have that often, which is the issue with the Cardinals.
You know what I need? You know what I need the Cardinals social media team to do? I need them to make like a balloon animal with the letter H, or like an inflatable H or a foam H. And I just want a photo of Andrew Kittredge holding the H. So he's holding a hold and like straight face. I hold a lot of games.
I want them to recreate the Wilt Chamberlain when he holds up like 100 and have it be Jojo Romero and Andrew Kittredge. Like maybe they can combine for 100 holds somehow. Actually, that means they would have to win like 100 games. That ain't gonna happen, but I do want something like that. Yeah. I want holds appreciators to be noticed. We're a very small, tight-knit, very smart, very handsome community. And I want them to find out
when
more.
Did you join this community? Was it 2 weeks ago?
You know, I don't think timing's important here.
Yeah, fair. You know what? You're here now. That's all that matters. Now. Washington and Miami. In Miami.
That's all you got on the Cardinals that series?
I think so. Like, I'm very disappointed in the Cardinals offense. And I know they took 2 or 3, but like, man, it's so underwhelming each time. I'm waiting for the 15-run game. And we're just not getting it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah,
I didn't really have a high bar to set. I get it, but I'm just asking for one game where I look at the Cardinals offense and was like, that was a complete effort, because on paper, this offense is so good. yet it hasn't been for the last year and a month now.
You know what's sad? The Sonny Gray game was the only game I watched of this series. Cardinals Mets should be appointment television. Like it should be.
Yeah,
Steve
well,
Cohen. I know the expectations for each team this year, but
right.
if you just look at the names on the jerseys and you look at the payrolls, that should be must-watch television. And yet, it didn't make any of my screens except for the Sonny Gray start because he's appointment television, but that's it.
Okay, you know who's actually back? This is my one positive Cardinal takeaway.
Okay.
Ryan Helsley's back.
Oh yeah.
Former friend of the show, Ryan Helsley, was down last year
Current
for
friend
some
of the
reason.
show.
Current friend of the show.
Current friend
Yeah,
of the show.
former guest, current friend,
Yes.
Ryan Helsley. He was down last year. He's back this year. So that's my positive Cardinal takeaway. Okay. I can sleep soundly at night.
You want to join the Holds community? It's a
Maybe.
very handsome group.
We can talk about it later.
Mhm.
Okay.
We'll talk offline. Actually, I don't even know. It's very tight knit, like I said. Like you have to want it. I don't know if you want it.
I don't want it enough right now. I'll
Yeah.
tell you when I feel like I want it enough to open the line for conversation. Okay?
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Washington and Miami in Miami. Washington sweeps. Miami is officially, by record, the worst team in baseball.
Well, did they sweep? Isn't it a 4-game series? They have one on Monday.
Do they have one on Monday?
Yeah, it's Jake Irvin versus Trevor Rogers on Monday. So they did win the first 3 games of the series, but it's probably going to be a sweep. I mean, this Marlins team is a disgrace.
They are unbelievably bad. Having said that, I've been pounding the pavement for Anthony Maldonado to get a big league shot for the last year and a half, and he worked 3 shutout in his major league debut. Credit to you, Anthony Maldonado. Mitchell Parker was sheltered, 4 innings, 1 run. Mitchell Parker's like a really enjoyable watch for me.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even look that great, but the Marlins. I mean, here's a picture of the Marlins season right here. They're winning 1-0. This was in game 2. Christian Bethancourt. Edward Cabrera throws a changeup to Bethancourt. It's middle. Like maybe he was crossed up. I don't know. But it hits his glove. Just straight up misses it. Goes to the backstop, national score run. But it was Bethancourt barely jogging after it. And then from there, the Nationals put up, I think, 100 runs. They won the game 11-4. This team is so bad defensively. So bad defensively. The bullpen couldn't hold a 7-run lead in game 3. Ryan Weathers was a part of that as well. When they have a lead, it doesn't matter because the other team is going to get it back. When they're down, energy out the window immediately. There is no dog. There is no comeback in this team whatsoever. And they're wasting some decent outings from their starters, but they also have some of the worst pitch framers, catchers who aren't helping them at all from every angle of this team. Lethargic. The offense. Brian De La Cruz is like hitting by himself. Luis Arias gets his singles. That's it. That's it. This is an embarrassing team to watch. I'm sitting here laughing at them. And I know that's so disrespectful. I've never laughed at a team before. Just belly laughing, watching this team fall apart every single day. And I'm watching Marlins Twitter. They don't deserve this. They're some of the nicest people ever. We met them at Lone Depot during the WBC. Great people. They stick by their team. Peter Bendix comes in. Kim Ang finally gets them to the postseason. Gone. Brent Brown, great hitting coach. Marlins starting to get behind him. Gone. He's now in Seattle. This team almost deserves this season for the way that they treated Kim Ang, the way that they have operated and not spent a dime. All they're doing is offloading. And we got to wait for the Peter Bendix story to unfold that he has a plan. We'll see. I mean, this is a disgusting baseball team. A disgusting baseball team.
I will say year 1 of a plan is always a bad looking year, but this is advanced bad looking. This is
Who do you build
brutal.
around? Who do you build around?
A couple of guys on the IL.
Sure, you build around Yuri.
You build around Yuri, you build around Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, they already spent the money on Sandy anyway. I'm saying new guys. I mean, you're not
Oh,
giving Jazz
no,
an
they're not on the
extension.
roster. No,
Yeah,
the new
they have
bats are not on the
nobody.
roster.
So what is Peter Benedict's plan? Is just to like play all these guys that have no future and then just like offload every single
Yeah,
player and
probably.
completely. Yeah, I mean that's a 5-year thing. I mean that's horrible to know.
It's not a 5-year thing. It could be a 3-year thing.
Good luck. Like we'll see if
This
that's
is
a
what
3-year
bad
thing.
organizations do, man. Like you being a Yankee fan has really, I think, altered the way that you look at the timeline of contender than rebuilder because you have only watched a contending team.
What are you talking about? The Yankees only won 82 games last year. I was
There we
very
go.
upset.
Okay. So Yankees only won 82. That was their rebuilding year. They had a rookie playing shortstop, rebuilding year. All of your friends growing up were Dodger fans as well. The
Good point.
Dodgers really don't rebuild. You've never
There were
really
years there. There were years there where Matt Kemp was doing well, but the rest of the Dodgers stunk. So no, I'm
okay, but
not
it's
trying to talk
not
you. But did I say anything wrong? Anything I said, was
no,
any of it wrong?
I think what you're saying is like I think you're looking at this as the end of the Miami Marlins. And it's not. This is a really shitty chapter in Miami Marlins history. And you have to have faith in a new lead executive to figure it out. And it's going to look horrible this year. It's going to look really, really bad next year. And then you might start to see some okay signs in 2026.
Can we do
And then
this?
you might,
Can we do this? Do you have access to Peter Bendix's audio that Craig Mish, writer for the Miami Herald, when he was asking him a few questions about the team? Do you have that audio?
I
Can we
don't.
put it in this podcast for people to
We
listen?
can, yeah.
Let's listen to it right now. Now, does that sound like a general manager that you want to back? I
I
mean,
don't know.
just
I haven't listened to it yet, but I will address it next time we do a podcast.
nothing answers. Everybody who just listened to it, nothing answers. Now, what can he say? I agree with you, but still, nothing answers. I would just be incredibly upset if I'm a Marlins fan, which I'm not, thankfully.
So
Respectfully, Marlins fans.
yeah, let's jump to the hottest team in baseball here. The Chicago White Sox sweep
Yep.
the Tampa Bay Rays. They
Damn
won
right.
3 in a row. Where were you for the Andrew Benintendi game? Wait, hold on. Where were you for the Eric Fetty game?
You know what? This is your time. Go off for a little bit. Fucking have some fun. This might be the only time all year. You better soak it in.
I was upset. I didn't want it to happen.
You want him to lose every game?
Fetty was sick. I thought that was so cool. He was what, 8 and a third, 11 Ks or something. Like Fetty looked untouchable. This was such an indictment on where the Tampa Bay Rays are at right now.
They are a disaster right now.
Dude, it was not a testament to the relatively speaking, it was a
Yeah.
testament to the White Sox. Shout out 23,000 people going to that Saturday night game for that Benny walk-off. Like, why did you guys decide to show up to that one? Because they won on Friday? Like,
White Sox had a feeling. They had a feeling they're getting hot. They've won
they had
3
a
in a row.
feeling, man. They ran into the right team to get hot against. The Rays have some shit they got to figure out.
Their offense is putrid. Randy Rosarina has no idea what he's doing right now. Yanni
what's
Diaz
going
doesn't
on?
even look good. And then the rest of them were, at least me, I expected these randos on the Rays just to keep contributing. And Richie Palacios is doing it, but that's it. That's it. The rest of their offense is bad. Their bullpen, bad. And their starting pitching staff is fine. But they went Eflin, Savali, Littell. They didn't go their bottom of their rotation. Eflin, Savali, Littell.
That's their top 3 right now.
That's their top 3, and they got swept. Embarrassing. Bottom point for the Rays this season. Hopefully, kicks them in gear a little bit. But this
Real
was
quick.
the absolute bottom of the season for the Rays so far.
You said Paredes wasn't playing well?
Yeah,
Who'd you say right after Randy?
Richie Palacios is the
No. You said somebody right after Randy.
Yandy Diaz.
Oh, Yandy. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you
Yandy.
said Paredes.
No,
Because
Paredes has
I
been
was going to grill you because I am on this dude for every AB. I'm pulling up the fan graphs and I'm like, okay, 150, 157, 151, 153. He's at 140 right now, WRC plus wise. I think he's got a higher WAR than Josh Naylor at this point. So
Does he?
we're squared away. He's at 0.8. I think Naylor's at 0.8.
Let's see. Let me do a little quick fan graph. Open right here. Josh Naylor is at a 0.8 F4.
Yep. So
But a
Isaac
162
Paredes, and Josh Naylor have the same WAR.
162 WRC plus though.
Okay. Paredes better defender. It was a war bet, was it not?
I think we have both. I think we
We
did
have
both.
both. We
Yeah,
have
we have
WRC
both.
plus and one. Okay.
Well, and Vladdy. We also have a bet on him. How's he doing?
Vladdy versus Bo, or
Vladdy
was
versus
it
Naylor, too. It was like Naylor versus everybody.
Vladdy versus Naylor?
I have that in my notes. I
Did
have,
we really do that?
yeah, we have,
No way I said yes to that. I was just engulfed in rage, I think.
oh my God. Yeah, we have Josh Naylor versus Isak Paredes, WRC plus an F4, and we have Josh Naylor versus Vladimir Guerrero Jr., WRC plus an F4.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then, but we also have, I mean, I have Xander over
It's
Gunner and War. Fucking hitting.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know.
That's so bad.
I thought it was cool at the beginning of the year. That
Yeah,
hasn't
you
worked.
did think it was cool. You thought, all right. Got a couple more series to go through. New York and Milwaukee. The Yankees and Milwaukee. Yankees win 2-1. Carlos Rodon's been a dog. 6 2-hit innings, no run or 1 run. Solo shot from Hoskins was the only run against him. 8 Ks, 1 walk. He's down to a 2.48 ERA. I mentioned it at the beginning of the year. I thought this guy was the biggest X factor in the game. Turns out that Juan Soto is the biggest X factor in the game because no matter what the offense is doing, Juan Soto is going to OPS 1,000, and he's going to single-handedly carry that offense some days. Having said that, I feel very good from a Yankee perspective about where they're at because of the way Carlos Rodon is pitching.
That was the best outing that I've seen Carlos Rodon have in a Yankee uniform.
He threw 7 shutout innings last week against Oakland, right?
Yeah, but the punchies weren't there. Only four
But
strikeouts,
he
and that
does
was
this
also
on
that
the
was
heels
also
of 7
against.
shutout.
I know that was against the A's, and I'm talking about Rodon with all the strikeouts, dominating. Only 2 hits, right? 6 innings,
Yeah.
2 hits, 1 run against the Brewers offense that's been really hot in a hitter's ballpark. I just thought that was. I know the stat line 7 innings shutout looks better. That was the best I've seen Carlos Rodon look in a Yankee uniform based on the matchup, based on where they were. He was electric. I mean, this is 97 at the top, slider at the bottom. This is the Carlos Rodon that Yankees fans were promised, and we're getting it right now, which is enormous because Garrett Cole still hasn't thrown an inning for them. They need that frontline ace, and Rodon is putting them on their back and moving. How about Aaron Judge getting hot? A couple
How
of
about
home
Judge
runs
getting
this
hot?
series. That's huge because if he gets hot, the Yankees offense is unbelievable, and that's why they put up 28 runs in the past 2 games.
Who's got the second best OPS on this team right now among everyday guys?
Volpe,
No,
the second best.
I think
Oh,
it's
is Waldo
Verdugo.
Cabrera? Oh, Verdugo. Yeah. Well, that's lately because it's all come in the last couple of games. Yeah, that's why I forgot.
But man, I think it's Verdugo. I think Verdugo is sporting like an 820, 830 right now.
They moved him to the 4-hole in the lineup, and 4-hole Dougie was doing things.
Shit's working.
Yeah, it was.
Those are my takeaways on that one. You good with it?
Yeah, no, I just really wanted to talk about Rodon, how impactful he has been. So I'm glad you brought it up kind of as your takeaway. That was my big one of the series. And just outside of Judge heating up and what that offense can look like with both him and Soto hitting. It's over.
Yeah. Cincinnati and Texas in Arlington. Congratulations to Wyatt Langford getting his first big league homer out of the way. He hasn't hit a ball over a fence yet, which is tough. But hey, an inside the Parker, you'll take it. This Rangers lineup is very deep. It's very good. They won the series 2-1, but they were utterly dominated by Hunter Green. And that was my big takeaway here. Hunter Green does not need to be sitting 100 like Skeens. And I've been guilty of this. I have compared Skeens and Green side by side consistently. Skeens has an unfathomable fastball. He sits 100. Green is not sitting 100 right now. And frankly, like that's better for him because when he sits 100, he sprays it a bit. Skeens does not spray it. Green has fastball command when he's 97 to 98. And that slider is still diabolical, man. He was awesome. 7 1-hit innings, just 1 walk.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the best starts I've seen from Hunter Green in my entire life. And then, again, context is important going on the road in Arlington against that Rangers offense to look that good. That's what we hope from Hunter Green. And he delivered. He's just been too damn inconsistent, but it's also been a factor of the Reds defense not helping him out, pitching in a small ballpark. Some of those home runs that maybe wouldn't leave other parks are leaving Great American. But to do that there, wildly impressive. One of the best pitching performances of the weekend. Might be the best. Thought he was dominant.
He was really good. Jumping to Minnesota and the Angels in Anaheim. I'm going to lean on you. This is the one series that I didn't keep tabs on at all.
Yeah, it's funny. Okay, I did. I don't know why. I was very interested in watching. Not only did I watch the game today between Reed Detmers and Pablo Lopez, but I also watched the first game as well. Wildly impressed with the Twins offense, and it's so good to see them. I thought they are my best performance of the weekend, the Twins offense.
They swept.
Because this offense, I've made fun of.
Real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The Yankees put up 30 runs in their back 2 games.
Yes, but again, context is important.
Yeah.
This Twins offense has been bottom 10 in literally every metric the entire season against both righties and lefties. You lose Cray, you lose Lewis, and this offense has nothing. And I was making fun of them. But to see them hit like this all series against good pitching. Now you could say, well, Jose Soriano, Patrick Sandoval, they're not that great. Well, Soriano up to this point has looked pretty damn good. Now, Patrick Sandoval, I know, has struggled, but they hit everybody. Didn't matter who came in. And the cherry on top of the cupcake, killing Reed Detmers like that? Mm-hmm. Reed Detmers hasn't allowed more than like 1 or 2 runs in a start all season long. I know it's early, but he's also had a couple of starts against the Orioles, who score on everybody. But for the Twins to do that, didn't matter who came in. Offense was electric. And now that they're a game over 500, without some of their stars, kind of keeping the boat moving a little bit when it seemed like all was lost, at least in the early parts, I thought that was the most impressive. They needed a series like that. Didn't matter who came in from the Angels. All of them hit. Second part, Ryan Jeffers, first of all, is having an amazing season. OPS near 1,000, hitting over 300. 26-year-old catcher has been doing really, really well for the Twins. They hit him leadoff in 2 of the 3 games with his 26th percentile sprint speed. Kind of, I don't know what that is. I don't even have a take on it. I just thought it was interesting. And he performed well. He went 3 for 4 in the Sunday game.
Minnesota doesn't swipe bags. I think they're 6 for 8 in the stolen base department so far this year.
Makes sense. It's just Eddie Julian feels like the leadoff guy, but the fact that they're putting Jeffers in there, and Jeffers has been hitting third. I mean, he's been leading this offense, but Buxton, Jeffers, even Willie Castro had a great series. Like, it's just, this Twins offense is not as bad as they've shown, but it looked horrific. And for them to do that against the Angels, I thought was big for momentum for them for the rest of the season. Be like, don't forget us. We made the playoffs last year. We're still a good team, even without a few of our stars.
Got you.
Like, yes, the Yankees scored more runs, but I thought context included, the Twins' offensive performance this weekend was more impressive because they also put up 16 runs than 11, right?
Yeah, so. For sure. Jumping to a series that I watched most pitches of, Arizona and Seattle. This Seattle offense is killing me, man. Killing me. I've got a stat courtesy of Optus Stats here for you. The Mariners have now had their starting pitcher notch 4 or more strikeouts and allow 2 or fewer runs in each of their last 16 games. No other team has done that since earned runs became an official stat in 1913. Whoa. Okay? So everybody is carrying the water here. Everyone. And not to mention Brian Wu looked amazing in a rehab. Bryce Miller's been amazing. George Kirby masterclass. Again.
It's so funny. They're getting back more pitching. Hopefully that'll help the offense back somehow.
This starting pitching, like this starting rotation in Seattle, we said it was like a top 3 rotation in baseball. It's probably the best rotation in baseball at this point.
When they get Wu back.
Because you have the mastery of Kirby. And Kirby came into that start on Saturday with a 5.53 ERA. But George Kirby gave him 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 12 Ks.
Logan I don't know. Gilbert, he's walking a guy. That's not
he walked a guy. That's right.
A guy. That's too much.
I saw George Kirby is like top 20 in the Fangraphs database in walks per 9. Everybody ahead of him was 1800s. He's doing something that we just haven't seen. Logan Gilbert looked amazing, but guess what? He leaves the game. They lose 3-2. Like, it is unreal how hard that rotation is working and how much they're succeeding and how little run support they're getting.
Look at their lineup. Look at the names in their lineup and tell me who
Dude.
you think is going to hit besides Julio and Cal Raleigh.
You know what this is to me? Nobody. I'm with you. You know what this is to me? This is DeGrom Cy Young year where he was like 11-10.
Yeah.
Every game feels like a DeGrom start.
I mean, luckily though, they have been a little bit sort of better offensively. I'm just in my head picturing the Mitch Haniger grand
They just
slam.
lost this series 2-1.
Yeah, I'm just in my head picturing the Mitch Haniger. They lost the series? I thought they won the series.
They
Pretty sure
lost
they
the
won the series. I know they lost game 3. Didn't they win game 1 and game 2?
I thought they lost game 1.
It was on Friday. Yeah, they
No,
won 6-1. They won the series.
6-1. Okay, they won the series.
They won
2-1.
the
Sorry.
series.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we have nothing else to say other than let's just hope they got hot soon. Because we keep piling on and it's the same conversation. We just got to hope that the bats start batting, to say it plainly, because they ain't. And when Julio looks human, this offense just doesn't go. I mean, Cal Raleigh can't do it all himself. And when he's not hitting, the offense looks lifeless. My takeaway, again, is, I mean, Brandon Pfaadt, another great start from Brandon Pfaadt. Shoving 11 Ks. But again, it's like, how much credit do I give him? Because it's against this freaking Mariners offense that can't hit. But I thought he looked great. Diamondbacks are just so mid. They're just so regular.
Corbin Carroll hit 7th on Sunday.
We're let's do a deep dive into him soon. We gotta. I mean, he looks hurt. We'll go deeper into him. Probably maybe you and Arm will do it on the Monday show, or we'll do it this week because he needs to be looked into because this doesn't look anything close to the Corbin Carroll we're used to.
At last check, I think before his last plate appearance on Sunday, he had a 540 OPS this year. Something ain't right.
Zero juice. Nothing leaves his bat hard, which is not Corbin Carroll. This is a guy who's putting the ball 460 last year. And it's like when he hits the ball in the air, I see the crowd stand up. It ain't going anywhere. This is a fly ball to center field. It's weird. It's weird.
Ouch. Jumping to San Francisco, Pirates and Giants. Jordan Hicks, dude. Like, oh my gosh. What's up with him?
I know. Oh my God.
Oh my God. He's so much fun. Like watching him start games and go 6 innings of 1-run ball with 9 Ks and no walks. Dude, you're the guy that was throwing 105 like 3 years ago. And now you're going 6 innings and not walking anyone? Man, his runs by start. He has made 6 starts at this point for the Giants. No runs, 1 run, 1 run, 2 runs, 1 run, 1 run. He's a reliever. Like, when's he going to blow up? He might not, dude. Like, and I know that he came up as a starting pitcher and he dipped his toes into the starting thing the last couple of years. But man, this is a new Jordan Hicks that I'm obsessed with watching.
Well, he's got the sinker, which is basically an auto ground out. He's throwing at 96 miles an hour. Average launch angle against it is 2. So nobody's hitting that pitch in the air. Then he has the split finger, which is up there for best
That's his
splitters,
best pitch.
best off-speed pitches right now in Major League Baseball. 47.5% whiff rate. Opponents are hitting 111 against it. But then he throws you that sweeper. 30% whiff rate. Opponents are only hitting 0.95 against it. And then sometimes he'll just dial up a 4-seamer to lefties at around 97. He's got everything that you need. He can go both to righties and lefties. He keeps the ball on the ground. This is a real pitcher. This is a real pitcher. It's almost like just watching Logan Webb throw harder in a way. It's not as
Webb is way more surgical. Yeah.
I'm just saying when you watch one start of Jordan Hicks and you watch another start of Logan Webb, like it doesn't look that different. I'm saying right now, obviously the pedigree, not even close. Logan Webb is way, way better. Just right now when I watch both of them, it looks somewhat similar.
Now, man, I mean, Farhan figured out what works in that ballpark, in that division, in Logan Webb. And
how about Keaton Wynn, too?
Dude, Keaton
Wynn just throwing
deal.
splitters every time.
I saw him punch out Henry Davis at 97.
I think Alex Cobb is the secret leader of this team. How
Is
all
he?
of them throw splitters now. Why? Probably Alex Cobb had a little touch in there.
The splitter is the it pitch right now. Last year was a sweeper. This year it's a split, I think.
No, I know, but I just feel like Alex Cobb definitely had a word in there, and he was like,
Sure,
"This is
why
how I
not?
do it." I
You know
love him.
what? Alex Cobb, pitcher whisperer in San
Pitcher
Francisco.
whisperer. That's all I'm
I'm here
saying.
for it.
But Keaton Wynn, these pitchers. I mean, imagine if the Giants get it too.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out Priester for 6 shutout. That was awesome to see on Friday night.
he needed that.
Um,
He needed that
the,
because I mean, think about it. If he got hit up again, he's probably getting sent down.
we'll see. The Pirates' offense has been not good.
Terrible.
Not good. So
One last one. Jared Jones looked human.
yeah, so I think the long ball is going to burn him. I think that's just what's going to happen.
That's
And
what
like
happened to
those,
Strider.
yeah, the electric four seamer guys, like shit's just going to happen sometimes. And it was 2 long balls, 3 earned runs. Like, okay,
No, the
you
only
just
reason I'm bringing him up, I mean, 3 strikeouts. That's not Jared Jones.
yeah, but that was him for starts last year, which was kind of interesting.
Because the fastball improved a ton. It was like 96 in the minors. Now it's 100.
Yeah, I mean, he's really put it wherever he wants. He was 100 last year. He was like 98,
Was he?
99.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's sick,
Um,
by the way.
yeah, it's really cool. But like that's kind of what he does. So yeah, I mean, I just think like he wasn't working the perimeter of the zone with his heater, and
Mm.
he got hit for 2 homers, and that's just gonna happen. Like you can't expect this guy to punch out 10 in 6 innings of one hit ball every time.
Too late. I already expect it. So when he
Yeah.
doesn't do it, I'm like, all right, well, we got to send him down now. If he doesn't throw like a shutout.
You know what? Send him to me.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm here for that. All right, 2 more series that we got to go through. Philly and San Diego. Phillies sweep. I'm officially a Phillies fan.
They are so good. I mean, they are a really,
And
really good team.
their vibe is immaculate. And I know that I shit on this team in 2022. Like, hey, I thought that their construction of the roster was like very, very weird. I'm holding the L here for you. Like, I'm a Phillies fan. There's no broadcast that I watch more than the Phillies telecast.
Oh,
Listening to
that's the
John Kruk,
best.
that John Kruk prison story went viral. Talking about like burning the guy burning the car. Like, don't mean to laugh, but holy shit, he just told that in the seventh. And then in the eighth, out of nowhere, he just goes, fish and chips for lunch. Like he kind of gets into how it was like sea bass fish and chips instead of cod fish and chips.
Is he not the best color guy
He
in
is.
Major
He's
League
the best.
Baseball right now? He is the best. And I love Dallas Braden in the booth for the A's too, but Kruk is just awesome.
Kruk is just
And
funny
he's so unapologetically a Phillies fan in the booth.
yes.
Like talking shit about the other team, really rooting for the Phillies in the booth. That's what I want from my guys in the booth. I want them to be homers. I want them to be 100% rooting for us and not even calling it a fair game. I want them to be Philly assholes, which Kruk is, and he's the man.
It works.
This Phillies team, I have a take for you. Phillies are the second best team in baseball. Yeah.
At
Braves are
this
one.
very moment, yeah.
I mean, the Guardians, they have a great record, and I agree. I'm just saying, I think the Phillies are the second best team in baseball.
I also just
Go
watched
through their
that.
rotation. Hold on, let's just go through their rotation real quick.
Yeah.
Wheeler, dog. Top 2, maybe not 2. Nola, dog. Ranger, dog. Sanchez, dog. Turnbull, not dog. Sanchez
now.
probably not a dog either, but they got 3 dogs. They got a couple of puppies, and then they got a freaking great bullpen. The defenses look better. Trey Turner's hitting 350. They get on you with the offense. They pitch. They're finally a good defensive team. The bullpen is great. I think right now I would power rank them number 2 to the Braves.
So I'm about to L plus ratio you.
Oh, wow.
The Phillies bullpen ERA is 5.71. It is the worst bullpen in baseball through the first month of the season.
I don't even believe that. I don't believe that. I know the Phillies bullpen is great. Like, yes, in April, whatever, they had a 7-run outburst against the Braves. Those are early season stats. This is a great bullpen. I don't care about your numbers. I don't care.
That's
I
fine.
don't care.
That's fine. So you L plus ratioed my L plus ratio.
No, you came to me like I was like Like I was like the jock and you were the nerd showing me the stat, and then I just
Mhm.
shoved you in a locker.
Yes.
Phillies fans will be proud.
You know what?
Phillies
Leave me
fans
in
will be
there
proud of
overnight.
that.
Let's see what happens. I'm
All
gonna
right.
come out and say, "Do you have a Nutrirain bar?"
Did you know
Uh,
that their bullpen ERA actually is it? Shut up. It's a good bullpen.
I wasn't wrong. Back in you go. 11 game hitting streak for the hottest hitter on the planet right now, Alec Boehm. How about this? His last 7 games in that 11 game hitting streak, 6 multi hit games in his last 7. 6
Whoa.
in his last 7.
Whoa.
I know. And then you got Ranger, who was sporting a 32 inning scoreless streak and didn't allow a run until what, the 8th? No, until the 7th yesterday. No, the 8th. I think it was the 8th. Yeah, solo homer from Eggy Rosario. It was the 8th inning. 8 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 8 Ks, no walks. Ranger is so in control at all times. And I like that each telecast is kind of making a big deal about when there's a ground ball right back to him because he does a little 360, he surveys, and then he takes his time and tosses to first. He doesn't sweat,
Nope.
literally and like metaphorically. He doesn't sweat right now. And he has been lethal and has been my favorite watch not named Jared Jones on the mound this year.
I saw a hilarious meme on Phillies Twitter, like Ranger Suarez in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs and he needs to get an out. And it's just Patrick Starr on one of those like mechanical seahorses, just like bouncing up and down without a care in the world. Perfect. He doesn't give a shit. And he's
In a good way.
electric.
In a good way.
In the best way possible. Ice in his veins. When what's his freaking name? Russell in the Lakers?
D'Angelo Russell?
D'Angelo Russell. I forgot his fucking name. I mean, who cares? But when he
I know what you're
points,
doing.
yeah, that's Ranger Suarez. Dude's a dog. They just have dogs on this team. This Phillies team, electric. They could win the World Series again. They just gotta not lose the Arizona Diamondbacks in the playoffs.
The other sneaky thing for me, Nick Castellanos has really struggled at the plate to open the year, right?
No
He made a
tragedies.
what?
No tragedies.
No tragedies. He made a catch on Saturday night that proved to me that he is now an above average defender.
I know you texted in the group chat. I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't have the Phillies game on at that point.
That's an effort thing.
Good.
He could absolutely take the offensive struggles into the field when he's getting paid around $20 million to hit.
Yeah.
And he has somehow become a net above average defender for this team. If that's not team identity, I don't know what is.
And then you got other guys on the team too, just doing their role. I mean, Bryson Stott basically beat the Padres by himself in that game. I think it was on Sunday. I'm getting my days mixed up, but I know he just had an unbelievable game. He had multiple home runs. Like they're just getting contributions from everyone, everybody. And Bryce Harper hasn't even fully heated up yet. He's been fine, but he hasn't been Bryce Harper MVP level. Schwarber leads off the game almost every other game with a home run. This team, they're dangerous and they can beat you into all sides. And it's not a common Phillies thing where they can beat you on all sides. Normally it's like, all right, we got Wheeler and Nola and we got Ranger. We don't have a great bullpen. We don't have good defense, but we're going to outslug you. Not now. They can beat you in a lot of aspects of the game. So them becoming this well-rounded unit is exactly what I was hoping for. Top of the echelon for the Phillies. We got it right now, and they're dangerous.
Easy. One more series that we got to go over is Cubs Red Sox as it stands right now. We're recording during Sunday Night Baseball. I don't know exactly what's going on in Sunday Night Baseball. I haven't checked in like 30 minutes. But the question that I wanted to throw your way is Tyler O'Neill fixed? He's slugging 800 against fastballs this year, but he's hitting 316 against breaking balls in the early goings this year. He hit 116 against breaking balls last year. 200-point jump against breaking pitches, and he's slugging 800 against heaters.
Hitter vision guy.
Tyler O'Neill's got some dog.
I mean, like, did we forget? This guy almost won an MVP like a couple of years ago. I mean, he's awesome. He just was in a shit situation with the Cardinals, and it seems like everybody right now with the Cardinals is in that same shit sandwich situation. He finally gets out, and he's dominating. I'm not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. I drafted him on all of my fantasy teams. Like, he just needed to get out of that situation. The Cardinals outfielders are just cursed. think you got to get out of there. But the Red Sox as a whole right now on Sunday Night Baseball, of course, Tanner Houck's doing his thing again. I mean, right now we're in the 4th inning, 3 1/3, 2 hits, 4 Ks, couple runners on right now, so maybe he won't be. But yeah, to be honest with you, this was a series I didn't pay close attention to. I feel like I just know who these two teams are right now. The Cubs are, I think, the better team than the Red Sox. The Cubs are a really good team. And the Red Sox are pretty good. And I was like, I kind of already know. There wasn't a lot of pitching matchups outside of Shota Imanaga versus Cutter Crawford that I watched.
That was good. I mean, Cutter got hit,
Yeah.
but Shota again, dude.
Yeah,
Shota's
that
for
was
real.
the game I watched, but I didn't watch any of the other games. And obviously, we can't watch Sunday Night Baseball right now as they're going. But Shota, I mean,
Shota.
Shota.
All right,
I mean,
that's it.
again, shoved again, and it's just
Yeah.
so electric. Remember when Arm, we were talking about games of the week? Arm brought up that point. Fenway, small stadium, those fly balls will probably get to you. I totally agree with him. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. Nope. And that's just a testament to Shota. Because Arm wasn't wrong. He does have fly ball issues.
Yeah.
But he was just that damn good. Yeah. And that's why if I'm a Cubs fan right now, Justin Steele's going to be coming back in a few weeks too. Got to be exciting to be a Cubs fan right now. And maybe they'll come back against the Red Sox. We don't know.
Yeah. Do our merch, baby.
Go get your Just Baseball merch. You think Jack's wearing any merch? Nope.
No.
I am, though. Just Baseball. Polos, get yours in the episode description. Our merch store, we have so many articles of clothing. Make sure to get yours. And if you would be so kind, if you don't want to spend any money, I totally understand. But make sure, rate and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and subscribe on YouTube. We're going to be back tomorrow, obviously, just like we are always 5 days a week. If you are enjoying, show us some love on YouTube in the comment section. But again, rating and reviewing is the best way to support our partners, whether it be a 7-day free trial at Outlier, checking out the game time code to get your tickets to a few games this summer, and BetMGM if you're a gambler like me. I'm heating up a little bit. For Jack McQuillan, I am Peter Apple. We'll see you tomorrow. And with that, thank you, everybody.